We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. The majority of men are not capable of thinking, but only of believing, and are not accessible to reason, but only to authority. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. They tell us that suicide is the greatest piece of cowardice. That suicide is wrong. When it is quite obvious that there is nothing in this world to which every man has a more unassailable title than to his own life and person. Every miserable fool who has nothing at all of which he can be proud adopts as a last resource pride in the nation to which he belongs. He is ready and happy to defend all its faults and follies tooth and nail, thus reimbursing himself for his own inferiority. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. When you're buying books, you're optimistically thinking you're buying the time to read them. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. Treat with work of art like a prince, let it speak to you first. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. So the problem is not so much to see what nobody has yet seen, as to think what nobody has yet thought concerning that which everybody sees. Life swings like a pendulum backward and forward between pain and boredom. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. The safest way of not being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. If we were not all so interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. If we suspect that a man is lying, we should pretend to believe him, for then he becomes bold and assured, lies more vigorously, and is unmasked. The life of every individual, viewed as a whole and in general, and when only its most significant features are emphasized, is really a tragedy. But gone through in detail, it has the character of a comedy. I have not yet spoken my last word about women. I believe that if a woman succeeds in withdrawing from the mass, or rather raising herself from above the mass, she grows ceaselessly and more than a man. Arthur Schopenhauer,